the day, for example, came time to purchase machines, this truck just arrived full of John Deere en masse.
Yeah.
So, multiple fairway mowers, multiple out front, because at the time it was the John Deere out front mowers. They weren't zero turns, they were out fronts. The big wheels at the front, little bit wheels at the back.
Yeah.
And they were the 4-wheel drive ones, so they're 1145. So that was a big deal back in the day. So it was just John Deere arrived en masse. And I think we kept our Toro greens mowers. So at the time, Toro had the market for the quality of cut on greens with the 1000 and the 3100. So we stuck with those for that. And I think at the time there was a bit of bad blood with Ransoms, which is a company you don't hear much about anymore.
I've heard about them though.
Yeah. So to keep those guys happy, we bought one of their bunker rakes because they dropped off. So, background story, and it's not talking out of school because it's a lifetime ago. And so they dropped off. When they heard, so all these manufacturers here, there's a new golf course and there's no machine. They're going to wine and dine and here, try our machine, try this, try that. So the Koreans did exactly that. So our fairways were freshly sprigged. It was 99% mud and 1% Windsor Green cooch.
Let me pause you there, Brenton. So sprigging, for those who don't know, is basically getting these little stolons and throwing them over the surface, right? I mean, it's a little bit more technical than that.
Well, it's sort of in this case they're planted, but there's a little example on one of my recent...
tiny little lawn runners, basically.
Correct. So this brand new mower with maybe let's say 10 hours on it, mate, it became a sand groper.
Oh,
like the Koreans are 100%. It was like a big wide fairway mower. It had maybe 5 reels, bang, straight through the mud, rocks for days going through this thing. And I nearly think, I could be wrong, I nearly think old mate, as in the rep, I nearly think he might have lost his job over it all, but because this machine went out brand new and came back worse than used. So I think because they feel bad for him, they bought a bunker rake and it wasn't much chop.
No, and a bunker rake was compared to a fairway mower in price.
Yeah, I know.
Gee.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, we wrecked your mower, but hey, invoices for a bunker rake.
Yeah, I mean, some fairway mowers these ways, they're like the same cost as Mercedes-Benz,
Correct. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Huge
and it was a pretty ordinary mower. Like it was not much chop, but still,
that sucks.
It doesn't make it right, but that's just what happened. Back in the day, today, it wouldn't happen today. But back in the 90s, it happened, and probably in the 80s and the 70s, it was even worse. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not talk about business practices in the 70s. That might get us cancelled.
Surely not.
We're only like 7 episodes in, man. Are you trying to get me quit already?
No, you'll love it. You'll be fine. Don't worry. Stick with me.
They're expensive. I mean, I looked into... I never went for it because it wasn't quite a good fit, but I got a quote from Toro to get a new Groundsmaster, which is like it's like a fairway mower-ish. It's not big. It's not like a 5-gang. It was 3-gang, I think. And it was in the 60s. And this is like a couple of years ago. So there'd be more now.
Yep. Yeah.
And I knew that would be expensive.
You'd round it off to 6 figures today. I'd say 6 figures for sure.
Oh, maybe. Well, for a 5-gang, I would say. I would say the one that I was quoting was they'd probably be high 60s now because it was mid-low 60s, just how the COVID taxes worked and everything. But I'm just saying that for context for people who don't know, they've never worked in golf or they're not, maybe they're gardeners more than lawnies. Just throwing a machine over it and ruining it in 15 minutes. It's not like it's a $20,000 zero turn.
It's 100% not. It for them it was a big. It's a big machine. There's a wide, precise reel mower that was brand new and was just abused. It was just abused, which is pretty sad when you think about it.
Hey, if you love the podcast, jump on our Patreon. It's the Patreon to keep this podcast going. The link is in the YouTube description.